for me who caused his pain, for me who him to death pursued. Amazing love, how can it be that thou, my God, should die for me? It's amazing love, how can it be that thou, my God, should die for me? It's amazing love, how can it be that thou, my God, should die for me? On my imprisoned spirit lay, fast bound in sin and nature's night. Thine eyes infused a quickening ray. I woke the dungeon flamed with light. My chains fell off, my heart was free. I rose, went forth, and followed thee. It's amazing love, how can it be thou, my God, should die for me? It's amazing love, how can it be thou, my God, should die for me? No condemnation, no condemnation now I dread. Jesus and all in him is mine. Alive in him, my living head, and clothed in righteousness divine. Oh, I approach the eternal throne and claim the crown through Christ my own. It's amazing love, how can it be thou, my God, should die for me? It's amazing love, how can it be thou, my God, should. It's amazing. It's amazing love, how can it be thou, my God, should die for me? It's amazing love, how can it be thou, my God, should die for me? Will you stand with us as we respond? God sent his Son. They called him Jesus. He came to love, heal, and forgive. He lived and died to buy my pardon. An empty grave is there to prove my Savior lives. Because he lives, I can face
Hey everybody, hope you guys are doing well. Hopefully you're not tired of seeing me here on the lives. So let me know you're here, and if you have any questions as we go along this today in this meditation, shoot them and I'll do my best to answer them. I've been thinking a lot about this and just about what God is trying to teach me specifically in this time of COVID. And one of the things that has really come to mind, or has really kind of been on my heart, is Israel's time in the wilderness. And so let me just start off by saying, especially in that story, that God was trying to teach Israel a very, very specific lesson in trusting him. And so he kind of pushes that. I'm not making that correlation right now, that God is trying to teach us something very specific, or that he's causing any of the stuff that's happening. But I do think that there is some similarities in the idea of kind of wandering in the desert and not knowing what's coming next, and what God might try to show us. So if you don't know that story, Israel is sent out in the wilderness for 40 years. And as they're kind of walking in the wilderness, God does a couple of things. One, he gives them a guide, either as a cloud during the day or a pillar at night. And then he gives them their food, their sustenance, because they're out in the middle of the wilderness, he then gives them manna, and they're to go out every morning and collect enough manna for the day. And then it happened every day over the course of 40 years. And so I was just been thinking about, what does manna look like for us? What are the things that God is giving us daily? And part of the reason for that, thinking about manna as that piece, really has to do with, they were only allowed to gather enough for the day. So if they gathered more, it would be gone by the next day, or if they didn't get enough, then they needed to make sure that they got exactly what they needed. They weren't able to carry it over. And I think so much of what's happening for us now is that there are things that are happening that really only happen today, and tomorrow they're kind of gone. And I think about it in this way. What are the things that God is giving me today that is good? So yesterday I got to play Minecraft with my son for the first time, and he got to show me his world, and that was just wonderful and beautiful, and just to kind of have that time. But you have the next day or the day before where he's bouncing off the walls, and I've tried to get some work done, and that didn't carry over the way I wanted to carry over. And so my challenge to you, is to what are the ways God is feeding you? And I think every day we need to find that one thing that he's filling us. It's later on when Jesus prays and he's teaching us to pray, he says, God, give us our daily bread, and to know that he's the one that's doing that and giving to us. So, I think, if you guys want to share what is the daily thing that God has given you, and I don't think it's the same every day. I think it could be something kind of new and different every day. The other thing I was thinking about this, even thinking about Israel in the wilderness, is really the idea of trusting God and knowing that this isn't going to last forever. The way the world is may change, but it won't always be like this. And knowing and understanding what it means to trust. I think, in the very beginning, Israel has been free from slavery. They're out in the middle of the desert. He brings them to the promised land, and then they get nervous about what the promised land looks like. And so then he says, well, I need to teach you to trust and rely on me. And so I think for me, that's one of the things that I've been wrestling with, is in this new normal, what is going to be okay, what is going to be safe. But the truth of the matter is that God kind of has that in control, and to be ready for when he says, well, here's the new normal, or here's a new thing that we need to do. And just to be, not only to be prepared, but to trust and know that he's leading that. So that's kind of been my two things, and my two prayers are, what are the things that God is doing? How is he feeding me in this time? And then to be aware that how he's leading me. What is the pillar of fire or the cloud during the day that he's showing me the way. And then to be ready, he says, well, here's a new way, Javi, or here's where we're going to come back. Know that there is something good. There's going to be something good on the other end. And really, a lot of this thought has come out of just a lot of some of the therapy I've gone through, and just knowing that even there's really strong moments of kind of anxiety and fear and not knowing but to know that even in those moments, it doesn't last. There's always a new tomorrow. There's always the next day. And I think we're starting to see that and feel that as things are beginning to open up. There's still a lot of back and forth between, is it good or is it not good? Do I wear a mask, not wear a mask? I think all those questions are good and valid, but I think what God wants us to know is that, he's got a promised land coming, and maybe it's not today or next month or even in a few years, but there's one for all of us. And to kind of put our hope and our stock in that, and then to celebrate the manna that he gives us daily. Maybe it's just a good phone call. Maybe it's a Zoom call with family. Maybe it's just a nice dinner. Maybe it's peace and quiet, where for me, when Chrissy says, I'll take Asher, and I get to go and veg out, or so, to remember that. So I just thought I'd share that with you today. If you guys have any prayer requests or anything you guys want to share with me, put it in the comments below, and know that we're praying and thinking of all of you, and hoping that you are feeling that manna, you are feeling sustained by God in this time, and that he's kind of teaching you and showing you some things. All right, guys, let me know if you have some comments or thoughts. Love to hear from you. All right, guys. Well, it was good to spend some time with you, and I hope you guys stay well and stay healthy. We'll see and talk to you guys soon. Bye.
To the river to pray. Down to the river, down to the river, down to the river to pray. We're going down to the river, down to the river, down to the river to pray. As I went down to the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way. As I went down to the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the robe and crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, brothers. To the river, down to the river, down to the river to pray. We're going down to the river, down to the river, down to the river to pray.